Hi everybody. So today is the free live teaching series, episode number 2, Lacoperon. We'll just wait for everybody to join in. Lacoperon actually is a very simple concept and it is a part of gene regulation at the transcription level. So what do you think would be happening in this operon? Why do we have one such genetic regulation which is called as lacoperon? Let's discuss it. So lacoperon is actually, lac is for lactose and operon means a straight line of genes. So it is a linear array of genes. It is called as an operon. Before going into lacoperon, we must know that there are two types of genes. One is the housekeeping gene and the other is the inducible gene. So housekeeping gene and inducible gene, we learn it by a simple example. We all know we are in a pandemic situation. But when we were not in a pandemic situation and we still went to the OPDs, clinics, hospitals, nursing homes, like a patient, like a doctor, like an intern, or whenever you have attended it, you must have always seen somebody is cleaning the floor, somebody is dusting the surfaces, somebody is cleaning the ceiling fan. So this housekeeping stuff was always there. It was there before the pandemic, it is there during the pandemic, it will be there even after the pandemic. So the housekeeping gene is like the housekeeping stuff. They are always there. Irrespective of whatever the situation is, the housekeeping gene will always be there. So the example of housekeeping gene are the enzymes that are produced for the citric acid cycle or for the glycolysis. So these cycles have to be there in the body. The metabolism has to take place in the body, and that is why these enzymes are always present and they are signaled by the housekeeping gene. And then what is the inducible gene? Inducible gene are, for example, the PPE kits that we are wearing nowadays. We have everything we have, you must have seen that there is a head cover, a shield, a goggle, mask, gloves, shoe covers, everything. Were all of this previously there before the pandemic? They were there, but not utilized. So now, when we are in a pandemic, because of this virus, there has been an induction of the PPE in our systems of our hospitals, nursing home, or whatever, wherever we are checking the patients. So this is induced because of a particular situation. So inducible genes are those which are induced because of one specific reason. Now the inducible gene can increase the expression of the gene or they can decrease the expression depending upon what is required. So for your MCQ point of view or for your theoretical exams or Viva point of view, you should know what is an inducible gene and what is an housekeeping gene. Okay. Now coming to lacoperon. It is very simple. Considering this is my E. coli, okay? So this E. coli, it's a lazy organism. I must say it's a very lazy organism and it will utilize the thing that it is easily getting. So this lazy E. coli has a lot of glucose all around it and it will utilize the glucose. It does not bother what is present in the environment other than glucose. If there is glucose, this E. coli will utilize the glucose and it will be happy. But suppose the tragedy happens with this E. coli and this is a cup of milk and this E. coli drops in this cup of milk. Now there is no glucose. Now the E. coli has to utilize all its energy to utilize the lactose which is present in this cup of milk. And that is where the lacoperon starts. So I must say that the lacoperon is always off. Why? Because the E. coli It's a lazy organism. It will not utilize lactose. It will utilize the glucose which is present in the environment. But when it has to utilize the lactose, only then the lac-operon will be on. So the second point to be known in this series is that the lac-operon or the lactose-operon is always off. It ons only when lactose is present in the environment. So the lac-operon is on when glucose is present, when glucose and lactose is present, or only when lactose is present. What do you think? Give your answers in the comments. I'll repeat the question. The lac-operon is on only when glucose is present, when glucose and lactose is present, or only when lactose is present. The thing is, the E. coli is a lazy organism and it will utilize glucose if the glucose is present in the environment. And it will utilize the lactose only when lactose is present in the environment. Even if glucose and lactose is present, still it will utilize glucose. Only and only if lactose is present, at that time it will utilize the lactose, and this is because it will on the lac-operon. So lac-operon is on only and only if lactose is present in the environment. So lac-operon is off when glucose is present. Lac-operon is off when glucose and lactose is present. Lac-operon is on only if lactose is present in the environment. Okay. So the ones who have joined in now, we have discussed what is constitutive or housekeeping gene and what is inducible gene. Housekeeping gene is like the housekeeping staff of our home or of our hospitals who have always done other work irrespective of the situation present. Irrespective of the pandemic, they have always cleaned the house and they are always there in the environment. And inducible genes are like our PPE, masks, that we have started utilizing them now because of the situation that has come up. So inducible genes are active only when you require that particular metabolism to take place. Okay. And lac-operon is on only if lactose is present in the environment. Now coming to what is lac-operon. Simple. I'll tell you without the diagram and you will understand it thoroughly. Lactose-operon is a linear array of genes. Now you have this lactose. See, this E. coli is there and it has entered the cup of the milk which contains lactose. Now it has to utilize this lactose. How will it utilize the lactose? It requires enzymes to break down the lactose. Okay. Lactose has to be broken down. So one enzyme for breaking it down. So breaking the lactose will require galactosidase. Any enzyme that ends with ase breaks the molecule. So galactosidase will be required to break the molecule. Now this lactose has to enter the cell or permeate the cell. So this enzyme will be permease. And one more enzyme is there, that is acetylase. If anybody knows what the function of acetylase is, you can tell me. But the function of acetylase is required at a level when you are doing MD in biochemistry or you are doing some research work. So at that time it is required to be known. I was asked in my grand viva for MD biochemistry what was the function of acetylase. So now we have seen that there are three enzymes that are required for the lactose to be utilized. So in lac-operon, these three enzymes will be produced by three structural genes. So the Z or the Z will produce galactosidase. The Y, structural gene Y, will produce permease. And the structural gene A will produce acetylase. Okay. So the Z, Y and A, these will produce genes these will produce proteins or enzymes which will help to metabolize the lactose. We have studied this. Now coming back to what the inducible gene, the regulatory gene, the constitutive gene, or the housekeeping gene that we had studied. So we must have all heard this term IPO. IPO. So it's a different meaning of what we are seeing over here. This is just a mnemonic, IPO. I want you to remember it as regulatory I, P, O, and then coming the structural gene. So I is the regulatory gene which will produce substances which will tell you whether the lac operon can continue or not. So the regulatory gene, I for inhibition, it will stop. So what it does, regulatory gene I will produce 4 repressor subunits. That is 4 repressor tetramers it will produce, and these tetramers will unite together and come on my O unit, operator. So suppose this is my operator, it's like a switch. So this is my operator, and this tetramer repressor subunits come and sit on my O region. It offs the operon, off. So when the repressor subunit comes and repressor subunit combining and comes and sits on my operator, it offs the lac operon. This means what? The lac operon will not go ahead and the genes will not be produced. Okay? Now, if and only if the lactose is present in the environment, what will happen? The regulatory gene I, inhibition gene, will produce its 4 repressor subunits like it always did. They will combine together also like it always happened. Now what happens? The lactose is already there in the medium. My cup of milk is there in the medium. And this repressor subunit undergoes a conformational change because of the lactose that is present in the environment. What will happen? Now when they go and try to sit on the operator region, they cannot sit. And the operator region is open. So there is no speed breaker. No speed breaker on my lac operon. Like when you have a speed breaker on the road, now there is no speed breaker, no roadblock, nothing. And smoothly the lac operon can continue. And now the lactose will be utilized. But what do you think is the most important requirement or the most important enzyme for the operon to continue? We are doing transcription. So we require the enzyme that is utilized in transcription, and that is RNA polymerase. So this RNA polymerase, P for P. So polymerase P sits on the P region. So I region is the inhibitory region. P region is where the RNA polymerase goes and sits. And O region is now empty. So RNA polymerase is there and the transcription will continue. Still there is one more twist. This RNA polymerase wears a cap on its head. And this cap will come with a small camp. So camp has to be attached to the promoter region, and then the transcription or the process of lac operon will take place. Now this camp, it is when it is formed. When the glucose is low, the catabolite activator protein along with cyclic AMP comes and sits on the promoter site. So only when there is glucose, no glucose or low glucose can the cap and camp sit on the promoter site and allow the lac operon to continue. So the lac operon continues only when there is a lactose which brings a conformational change and the cap and the camp sit on that promoter region and the lac operon goes on further. So now the two things that we are required to know here, that the lac operon was repressed, and it was initially repressed by the regulatory inhibitory gene which produced 4 repressor subunits, and it was in repression. And now who took it out of the repression? That is who de-repressed it. So de-repression was done by lactose. So lactose brings about the de-repression of the lac-operon. The other important point that is asked in your MCQs, various entrance exams, or sometimes in your Viva is about the gaseous inducers. So who is the gaseous inducer? It is an inducer which induces the lac-operon like the lactose, but it is not the substrate. And the example of this is isopropyl thiogalactoside. So lac-operon is a very small operon, but you always have to remember that it ons only when there is lactose present. It can take place only when you have a catabolite activator protein with a cyclic AMP. So in your diagram, if you forget to write the cap with the camp, you will lose marks. And if you forget to write the RNA polymerase, this means you have not understood the lac-operon at all. We have done with the lac-operon. I just want you to know that again I will post 10 MCQs about this lac-operon, and I will post them as a Google form, and we'll discuss these 10 MCQs which can come in your entrance exams on Wednesday at 7 PM as an Instagram live. So please solve the MCQs, and if you have any queries, let me know. We'll discuss them now also and at that time also. So summarizing lac-operon, till then if you have any queries, put it in the comment box. The two types of gene present are constitutive or housekeeping gene, and other is the inducible gene. Housekeeping gene is always present. Inducible gene will be present or absent depending upon the situation. Next, lac-operon. Lactose-operon is off when glucose is present. Lactose-operon is off when glucose and lactose is present. Lac-operon is on only and only if lactose is present. The structural gene Z is for beta-galactosidase, Y is for permease, A is for acetylase. The regulatory gene I, then comes the promoter, then comes the operator, and then comes the ZYA. The I regulatory gene will produce 4 repressor subunits. These will unite together, sit on the operator region, form a roadblock, and will not let the lac-operon to continue. When there is only lactose present, the 4 repressor subunits will unite together, but the lactose will bring a configurational change in the repressor subunits, and this will not go and sit on the operator region, and the road is clean and the lac-operon can start. But how the lac-operon will start? The RNA polymerase has to come and sit on the promoter region and wear the cap with the camp. So cap with the camp and the RNA polymerase on the promoter region, and thus lac-operon will continue. Somebody has asked me, please let me know the role of A gene. So A gene will produce the enzyme acetylase. And what does acetylase do? I want you to think about it for a day and let me know, because it's not a very difficult answer. When you know the answer, you'll think कि इसको पूछ रहे थे ये. So let me know if you know the answer. And join me on Wednesday at 7 PM for the Instagram live and discussion of the MCQs regarding the lac-operon. We'll cover all the MCQs that are asked in your NEET PG exams and other various entrance exams. That's all. Thank you. Okay, there is Z gene produce beta-galactosidase. Why we given Z? Okay, so why the terminology is Z according to Vivek Roy? It's given the term like this, ZYA. So there is no, in biochemistry, it is not mathematics and it is not an alphabetical order that we follow. Like in ribozymes, ATS will not be forming 40S and 48. Similarly, over here, beta-galactosidase will not be given by G. It will be given by Z. It depends upon Jacob and Monod. In 1961, they gave the lac-operon and they decided to name it that way. So we are still using it because they are the pioneers in that. And they won the Nobel Prize for it. Anybody else? Chalo. That's it. Thank you. Bye.